In your language, do you have any phrases if a footballer does this?
Capixaba, lá vem o Juventude, ótima bola, ataque perigoso, cruzamento, Breno perdeu! Inacreditável! Breno, o artilheiro, o homem-gol, o jogador iluminado do Juventude, perde uma chance inacreditável!
And how about this? And what do you say if somebody does this?
This is so. Can you beat this? Regarde.
His touch was very, very heavy.
Today I'm going to give you some English expressions to be negative about a football player. See you in the classroom. Okay, so 11 expressions to show frustration or be negative about a football player. Please comment with some similar expressions from your language. I know in Spanish they say le rebota una flecha, which means an arrow would bounce off him for someone with a bad first touch. So if you have any expressions in your language, I would love to know. Please comment. Okay, so there are many expressions in English to be negative, but these expressions all follow the same structure. So, he, subject, or she, or the player's name, then a modal verb, couldn't, no ability, you cannot. Then the verb, so catch, score, finish, control, trap, cross, these are football verbs. And then an object. In these expressions, we change the object. So usually in football, the goalkeeper catches a ball. But in this expression, we say he couldn't catch a cold. And a cold is when you have a runny nose, you have a temperature, you're coughing, so you hit the goalkeeper is so bad, he couldn't catch a cold.
Still Raf on a hat-trick. Oh dear.
Okay, so today there is a task. It's slightly different today, so this is not the correct match. So pause the video and try to find the correct match. So the phrase in English is not he couldn't score a bag of cement. That's not correct. It's a different one of these objects. See if you can figure it out. Okay, so number one, he couldn't catch a cold. You use this for goalkeepers who are not very good at catching. Number two, he couldn't score. So this one is for strikers. So usually a striker scores a goal, but maybe he is very bad and he couldn't score in a brothel. So a brothel, it means it's easy to score in a brothel. The girls want to have sex with you because they want money, but this striker, he couldn't score in a brothel.
I don't think he'll be getting a Christmas card from Christopher Nkunku. Mbappe's reactions.
So he couldn't finish. So in football, if you are a good finisher, you are good at scoring goals. You are good in front of goal. But maybe this striker or this player, he couldn't finish his dinner. So he is so bad, he couldn't finish his dinner. So he couldn't finish a meal. Number four, he couldn't control. So this one comes from my friend's dad, and he couldn't control a train set. So this means when the ball is given to him, he can't control it. He has a bad touch. Le rebota una flecha in Spanish. So he couldn't control a train set. He couldn't play with a train set. Number five, similar, same meaning. he couldn't trap. So trap is to put your foot on the ball, control the ball, and he couldn't trap a bag of cement. So a bag of cement is very heavy. If somebody, if you throw it, it just stops on the floor. It's very heavy. So we say in English, he couldn't trap a bag of cement. La Rabota una flecha, I think. Okay, so number 6, he couldn't cross. So in football, you need to cross the ball to the striker. If you are a right midfielder or a left midfielder, you cross it. So he couldn't cross the road. Somebody who is very bad, always hits the defender, kicks it out of play. He couldn't cross the road.
Can he get a good crossing? Oh! Yeah. Well.
Number 7, he couldn't pass. So there's 2 for this. So he couldn't pass, he couldn't pass. There's 2, he couldn't pass the ball, or he couldn't pass wind. So to pass wind in English, it means to fart, to have flatulence. He couldn't pass wind. He's so bad he couldn't pass wind. Or he couldn't pass water. So water in America. He couldn't pass water means, so he couldn't go to the toilet. It means to wee, to urinate. He couldn't pass water. So he's so bad he couldn't pass water. Next one, number 9, he couldn't tackle. So to tackle is to try to get the ball in football. In English, there is a phrase, usually in Scotland or Northern Ireland, he couldn't tackle a fish supper. So to tackle a fish supper means to eat it, really. And he's so bad he couldn't tackle a fish supper. Number 10, he couldn't hit. So this is for a striker who is bad and is not very accurate with his shots. So there's 2 phrases for this. You can say he couldn't hit a barn door. So a barn door is very big. It's a very big door and he couldn't hit it. Or he couldn't hit a cow's arse with a banjo. I don't know where this came from. Cow's arse is very big. A banjo is very small. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
So this is a cow's arse. Sorry, excuse me. It's a cow's rear end and a banjo. Go for it. Oh, no, you have to do it. It's got to be harder. It's got to be harder. Yeah, it's got to be harder.
Okay, thank you for watching. Do you have similar phrases in your language? Please comment below. See you in the next video.